One of the best things about the film is the music. What led you to collaborate with Mike Patton for the score?
Mike Patton has long been my hero. When I was a teenager growing up in Colorado, my brother bought me the Mr. Bungle album for Christmas one year. And I used to listen to that tape in my Mustang driving around the suburbs of Denver, Colorado, just so many times I wore out the tape, you know. Then I remember going to a show at the Gothic Theater one time and seeing Mike Patton on stage, and he was wearing a bondage mask with horse blinders on the side, and he was singing Time by the Alan Parsons Project, and it was beautiful. And he got down on his knees and started licking the head of the bald security guard in the front row, and from that moment forward, he was my hero. And I've used his music throughout my life. Like if my neighbors got too friendly with me or something, I would just turn up the music and just really test them out, see if they wanted to be friends. And so, long story short, we ended up meeting after I made Blue Valentine, and yeah, dream come true to work with him.
I think one of the things that's rare about this movie is that there's a protagonist that we see from the beginning, and then it shifts over to another. And it's a very rare thing because it's so difficult to pull off.
Yeah.
What were some of the main challenges of having a baton pass in the narrative, would you say?
Well, there's two baton passes in this narrative. It's a triptych movie, and I mean everything about it is challenging and difficult, and you don't normally see it in movies. I mean, I'd seen it in Psycho, you know, so many years back, and it worked there. And you know, I think you know, to me that was exciting though. It's exciting to put yourself in a place where you're challenging the viewer, you're challenging yourself, you're challenging everything that you make as a filmmaker. And you know, I always see myself as an audience member before I was ever a filmmaker. So I'm trying to make movies that I want to see, you know? And I don't think I'm that different than other people, you know? I like to be surprised when I watch a movie. I like to be respected when I watch a movie. I like to watch a movie and the movie's kind of like my friend and I can continue to go back to it over times in my life, you know? I like to be instigated in a movie, you know what I mean? I like to leave a movie and actually like feel something different, you know what I mean? Either be put off or like inspired to do something in my life. So that's the kind of cinema I'm trying to make.
I think I saw an interview with you where you said that people were trying to get you to make it more like Babel.
Yeah, there was some calls early on to like maybe intercut the story, to cross-cut it. But you know, I had done that with Blue Valentine, and you know, Inarritu has done it so well, and Tarantino, and you know, go back to D.W. Griffith with Intolerance, you know. The cross-cut parallel storytelling is a great effective tool of cinema, but this movie was about lineage. It was about legacy, about what we pass on, and I thought it needed to be told in a linear fashion. And also, we're dealing with gun violence in this movie, and I'm like so sick of seeing guns in movies and just so irresponsible up on the screen. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, I'm not interested, you know, like if I see like one more like slow motion bullet come out of a gun and like blow someone's brains out, I'm like over it, you know. It must have started with Sam Peckinpah, you know, which is great. I love Peckinpah, you know, but he feels like he's in the ashes. He's like in the inferno with his characters. He's in hell with his characters. I'm not into to this idea of fetishizing violence in movies. I was interested in the narrative of violence, the story of violence, the events that lead up to a violent moment, and then that aftermath. And as what I wanted the audience to feel when they watch the movie is a real effect that violence would have in a narrative way. You know, just like if you were in life and someone encountered gun violence, and what would that be like? You don't have the sanctity of like flashing back in real life, you know?